Hello, welcome back. We wanted to explore debugging in this session. In real world, we all love going for trips, don't we? We do. So whenever we plan our trips, we decide at what stops we are going to stop to explore places in and around that particular stop. Same thing can be done in the programming world too. When the program runs, we would like to stop at different places in our code. Every line of source code becomes a point of interest for us, right? Okay, so every line of code. So how do we say that I want to stop at this line when the program starts running, right? So that we can instruct by just going into this gutter area. The moment I go there in the gutter area, you will see a small red circle appearing there. When you click that, it becomes enabled. This is how I can say when the program runs, I want to stop at these places. Okay, of course, this run is a special run. It is run by a tool called as debugger, right? So when it is run in the debug mode, then only you can actually stop at different lines of interest. Okay, so but you can instruct it that way. So I can go into any file and I can say I want to stop at this place, I want to stop at this place, like that, and so forth. So we are planning our journey now, right? Okay, great. Remember, the program is not running yet. This planning is happening in advance, so I can decide at what places I want to stop when the program starts running. How do we start the program? We need to tell our travel manager to begin the journey. Who is our travel manager here? It is the debugger. We say, how do we access the debugger? Go to the side menu and tap this icon, run and debug icon. This is a triangle and a bug on it, right? So this is the same icon. Similarly, you will find in any other ID. It will appear almost similar fashion, okay? It will have a bug on it and a small icon like this, okay? So I tap it, I get into the debug menu like that. Now here in the top, you will see a small green icon, button like this, and I hover over that, it says start debugging. At the same time, you can also use whatever keyboard shortcut that you have set. This is default F5 in my case. So if you press that key also, this will actually invoke the debugger and debugger will start running the program intended. So if you tap on this pop-up, you will see a lot of options here. Don't worry about this. This configuration aspect is something we will cover in another session altogether. So right now, this option is available. The first option, I simply tap on that, right? I say I want to debug this program. The moment I do that, something happens in the right side in my terminal, something gets displayed also. It compiles my code and starts running, okay? Cool. And the moment that happens in my ID, boom, something happens, isn't it? So we stop at our first stop, and our stops can also be seen here, okay? Here in the left side, there is a panel called as breakpoints. These stops are known as breakpoints in the world of debugging, okay? We will not use word stop. Instead, we will use name breakpoint, okay, to denote the stop. So all the stops or breakpoints which we have actually marked will appear here. So this is our first breakpoint. So control stops there. Debugger knows that you have to stop here. Why do we stop here? We want to investigate something. There is nothing much to investigate here. So we would like to proceed further. Here, another interesting thing happened is this panel appeared whenever we started debugging. What is there in this panel? You can actually move around this panel. You can actually put it here, wherever is comfortable. I usually put it somewhere here so that it doesn't superimpose over my source code. Okay, so there are a couple of buttons. This is continue, step over, step into, step out, reset, restart, and stop. Okay, we will now focus on this particular option, that is continue option. Quite powerful. Continue or run. In some other debuggers you might see run as well, the word run. Here continue. Visual Studio Code, you will see that the option is continue. Okay, and in any platform you go, these icons will stay the same. They will mean the same. Okay, So if you learn this in one platform, you can easily understand debugging in another platform as well, another IDE. Okay, cool. So now this is all good. So there is a way for us to talk to our travel manager. I can tell him that please take me to the next breakpoint. How do I do that? I simply press this or click this button. Boom, the moment I do, control comes here. Obviously, because this test prime was called from main. How do I know that I came from main? In any trip, right, we should know from where we have come from. If we lose track of that, that is very unfortunate, isn't it? So thanks to a thing called as call stack, okay, so whenever operating system runs your program, it maintains something called as call stack. Don't worry about it. For now, you can just imagine it to be a kind of a trail or a history. Okay, it maintains that I came from main, so I can tap and go back and see from where I came. Of course, we came from the main. So this was the function that got called, and this is the first line where we have a breakpoint. Because of that, it again stops here. Again, here there is nothing to explore for us. Because of that, we would like to proceed. So now if I say continue, where do you think the control goes? Do you think it will come here or somewhere else? Let's see that. I will allow you to guess. Yes, it comes here inside our isPrime function. Why? Again, you can investigate that in the call stack, because this line had a call to this function. Because of that, it came here, isn't it? And we have a breakpoint. And now there is something to observe for, right? We can see what is the value of this argument, this number, right? That you can see in the left side. There is this pane where you have something called variables and there's something called locals. There you can see what is the value of this number variable, right? So all locals introduced in this scope will be displayed here. Number is 0. Because number is 0, where do you think the next control will go if I press this, right? Of course, what you can do is you can have breakpoints added later also. Let's add breakpoints here as well as here. During a trip also you can decide, hey, no, we want to also stop at this place, right? You can say that. So that is the exact thing that you did here. Okay, the control is still here. We are pretty sure, right? Number is 0, 0 is less than 1. Where do you think the control will go? Actually, control will go to this line. We don't have a breakpoint for that, but we have set breakpoints here. Do you think the control will come here now when I say press continue? No, it won't, right? Oh, it didn't, because it doesn't come to that line. So it can reach a breakpoint only if the control flow guides says so. You can go to that line. If not, it will not take you to that breakpoint, even if there is a breakpoint, right? Only the breakpoint will be reached only if the control flow says so. Okay, so here again, the next possible breakpoint is this. This is where we came. Now what will happen if I run? If I simply run, will it simply execute the program and exit? No, it won't. Boom, it comes back inside isPrime, isn't it? The reason is, again, every test here, right, is calling isPrime, right? Because of that, it is going destined to stop inside the isPrime function. Now the value of the number, I think we skipped one, right? We ran continue twice. So because of that, now the number is 2. That's okay. Now, do you think the control will come to this breakpoint? Let's see. It does, because this condition will not hold good. It comes here. Do you think the control will come to this for loop? Probably not. It should come here. That we can verify by placing another breakpoint. Let's see whether the control comes here, because number is 2. We are 100% sure that it should come here. Let's see. Yes, it will not lie. It will come there, right? So number is 2, so it comes here. Do you think when I say run now, do you think the control will come here? No, isn't it? It can't. So what happens? Boom. Again, it comes inside isPrime, and you can always check from which test it is coming from. It is coming from this, because there is a call to isPrime with the number as 3. So now obviously, do you think control is going to come here or here? The first breakpoint, of course, it is going to hit, right? Number is not less than, so it is going to jump to the next breakpoint. Do you think it is going to come here now? No, right? Because number is 3. comes to the for loop. Now, of course, here you can see what is the value of number, that is 3. This is not correct, so this is some junk value it is showing. It is not 1 because we have not entered into this loop yet. So this variable is yet to be assigned actually. So you can ignore this value for now. Now let's check whether it can ever come inside this for loop, right? Because square root of 3 is I think 1.7, right? 73 or something like that. So I believe it should not come inside. How can I prove that? Let's place a breakpoint. Let's place a breakpoint here also to just ensure that it doesn't go to jump to the next test. Okay. So I have 2 breakpoints. So my proposition is that it should not come inside this. Let's say run. It didn't, right? Because this condition, right, I is less than this square root of number. 2 is not less than 1.73, so it should definitely come here. Okay. Now when I actually run for the next number, isn't it? Oh, this is 4. Obviously it will come to this breakpoint. I can simply press continue, and let's see now. We want this line to be executed. 4 is not a prime number, isn't it? So this should hold good somewhere. So let's run. Number is 4, I is 2, 2 divides 4, so control should come here. See, it came there. So we can add breakpoints as we want, right? And we can take help of this continue button and we can go ahead and see the behavior of the program and ensure that it behaves as expected. So now do you think the control will come here? No, because it cannot. The control cannot come to this line at all because there is a return statement. So it will jump to the next test, isn't it? 5. Number became 5. And do you think it is going to enter into this loop? Of course, it is going to enter into the loop now. The square root of 5 is, I think, 2 point something, right? So at least once it should enter. Let's ensure that. Yeah, it entered once. Can it enter twice? I think it shouldn't, isn't it? It won't. Look at that, boom. Comes out and says 5 is prime, okay? So again, this is going to stop for every number. Let us say that I don't want to stop for any other number for a while. So what I can do is I can simply remove these breakpoints. And let's say I want to go into my tests and I only want to debug. Let's say there is a bug for, let's say, number 100. What I can do is I can skip all the other tests and place a breakpoint here and remove all the breakpoints from is prime for a moment. Otherwise, it keeps on coming inside this, isn't it? I don't want that. Now I want to directly jump to the test for 100, number 100. So that is what is going to happen now because there are no breakpoints, intermittent breakpoints. This is the only breakpoint that it can go and stop. So boom, right? This is what you do in the real world, right? If something happens to you, health goes bad or something, like you want to skip all the places and just go to the end of the trip, maybe, or a place before that, whatever, right? You can skip places. So I just removed all the stops or breakpoints. Because of that, we are directly here. It doesn't mean that it didn't execute any of these tests. It did, but the stop happened only for this test. Now I can actually again go back and place a breakpoint. I can go back to the main dot, prime dot C. I can go and place a breakpoint now. Now I can say run. Boom, it comes there, right? And number is 100. Now I can debug whatever I want to do. I can go ahead and do that here, right? Cool. Now, do you think there is any other breakpoint other than this one breakpoint here? No, right? There are no other breakpoints. Now, if I remove this breakpoint and if I simply run, it simply finishes the execution and the debugging is concluded, right? That is the powerful feature that is continue that the debugger provides, using which we can instruct the debugger to go to the next breakpoint as and when we need it. And also dynamically we can set or remove a breakpoint as we want it, right? So we did that with experiment in a couple of places already. We didn't explore the other buttons, and also we didn't explore how to configure the debugger. That is something we will do in our next session. Stay tuned. Thank you.